Hello everyone, I'm Martina and I'm a PhD student in biology. I work in the first laboratory of alternative methods here in Argentina. Our objective is to provide non-animal testing services to the local industry and also to develop new alternative methods to reduce and replace the use of animals where still required by the regulatory agencies. My PhD thesis is focused on the ocular toxicity assessment, and in particular, I study corneal wound healing process after a chemical exposure. This is particularly challenging for non-animal methods, and it's still required for the registration of new products. And that's why my thesis is aimed at addressing this gap. I think that one of the problems that we often have when trying to develop a new alternative method is that we often try to compare it with the in vivo animal model. For example, in ocular toxicity, we compare our new assay to the DRICE test, that is a test performed in rabbits. And it has been highly documented that this test is not reliable at all. It's not reproducible and it has lots of variability. And that's why the differences that we observe in the two models may be more about the discrepancies that the animal model has itself rather than about the flaws of the new alternative model. That's why I think that to speed up the transition towards alternative methods, we really need to focus on the human biology to develop a new alternative. For example, if we have an in vitro model that is really good at describing and assessing a particular mechanism, for example, behind the ocular damage or the wound healing process, I think that could be just as good or even better than an animal model. And that's why we as scientists should focus on really assessing the human biology behind a particular toxicity assay. We really need to focus on making a more scientifically valid and human-based assay rather than trying to compare the new methods to the old in vivo assays. And also, I really think that stronger policies should be taken in order to move towards alternative methods. I know that most of the countries are trying to move away from laboratory animals, but in Argentina, we still have some steps to be taken towards this direction. And I also think that it's key to collaborate between all the parts that are involved in the alternative methods world. Both the scientists, the academia, but also the industry and the regulators. They should all collaborate so that we can actively accept the new alternative methods and develop new methods and try to really use them, for example, in the regulatory agencies. And although I really know that it's challenging to work with alternative methods, I'm really happy to be part of this change, and I really look forward to more ethical and innovative science. Thank you very much.